Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the weekly trade report video for the week of June 11th, 2017. So first up, I just want to say last week, guys, I wasn't very active on Twitter because I'm currently in the process of moving. So I'm house hunting, and which is loads of fun. Of course, I'm being facetious, but so it's taking up a lot of my time. But hopefully next week will be less strenuous. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of get that out of the way. And so let's take a look at the Dow Jones ETF, the DIA. We can see that we're at all-time highs. The market is strong, although we did see some weakness on Friday in the FANG stocks, the Facebook, Amazon, Google stocks, tech stocks, but we did see some strength in the financials. So we've seen weakness in some of the tech stocks, but strength in the financials. So we're just likely seeing some some money rotation going on. But if we look at the major index, we can see that it's now at new highs. So the Dow looks strong. SPY, kind of a similar story, broke out through this range and heading higher. We did see some big volume day on Friday for the SPY, but it didn't close too far red. Basically a flat day for the SPY, so nothing too concerning there. Small cap IWM is on the verge of a breakout. It's got this resistance up here around 141 ish, and we can see kind of going back 200 days, so you can see this resistance. It's right at a resistance point. So we'll see if this can actually break and hold, or if it's going to act as a resistance and then fall back down. So it looks like it wants to break out and continue higher. So that's just something I'm seeing. Looks healthy to me. We'll just have to see if it can break and hold. Okay, the biotechs, not really seeing much here on this chart. So you got some resistance up at 303. Support down here at 286, and so we're just right in the middle there. Nothing on either side, so still within that range for the biotechs. Okay, let's see here. I wanted to look at the okay, so the financials is one that I wanted to look at. So you can see that the financials, if we take a look at a longer term chart, we had this big run-up, consolidation, run-up into Trump's speech to Congress on this day. That was the peak. Pulled back and was in this range and had this resistance right around 24. And that's been over the last couple of months. So you can see right in this area was a key resistance, and on Friday we broke out of that. So this XLF financial ETF broke out and closed above that 24 spot on some pretty good volume. And what I'm seeing is, if you look through the banking sector and you look through the regional banks and some of the big banks, you'll kind of see a very similar pattern. See a lot of breakouts, a lot of big movements, and so I really think this XLF could be heading back up to 25 area in the near future. And so if you wanted to trade this, or you could trade some of the leveraged ETFs or individual banking names, but the sector looks like it's strong. It looks like it's ready to make some sustained movement, so I'll be definitely watching the financial sector next week. Let's see. Yeah, energy names popped a little bit on Friday, the XLE, but overall you can see the chart still in a downtrend. So nothing real convincing until this energy stopped putting in this lower highs and lower lows. And here's your trend line. First you'd want to see a break of this to the upside. Until then, long-term downtrend for the energy sector. Okay, let's talk about some of the names I traded last week, and then some of the names are on the watch list. So first up, PDLI. This one still looks pretty good. It was a decent trade, had a spot here at 240, and I believe I got in at 243, closed it out at 248. It wasn't really moving like I wanted. but it's still looks pretty strong, like it could go higher. It's up close to 247, but it still broke out through this key resistance here. Now it's just kind of flagging. So next spot I'd be watching, looking to trade it, is through the high on Friday, 252 spot. Could get some momentum through there. So PDLI still looks pretty good. ORBC, nice run on the after the breakout. This is one that for a swing trade I bought it on 10, and then I closed my position out. I think it was 1040. So pretty good trade. You can see it's continued higher. So if you were patient with that one, you should have done well with that. Looks a tad bit extended now. Maybe needs to rest for a few days. But that was a great trade, and you can see a breakout continuation. So decent trade for me. Could have held a little longer, but it was a good trade. Okay, CMTL was a big missed opportunity by me last week, and I just wasn't watching it. This is one where it had earnings, and so I had bought this breakout and sold it at like 1540, 1530, I think. Yeah, so it's breaking through this key area, 15, and I sold it at 1530, I think it was. So I mean, or 1475 is where I got it, looking for the break. You know, we got the break, and then it was going to have earnings, so I closed it. So I made some profit, 50, 60 cents, and then on this day just had a huge break. So if you were watching this one on this breakout, you could have got a piece of that one. It looks extended now, so no trade at this point, but this was a fantastic move. Missed opportunity by me, but this was on my watch list for a long time, and it finally did the move, although it did fake people out because it opened up down here, shook some people out before ripping higher. So okay, Lennar Homes. I still really like these home builders. This basing period here from March kind of peaked out at 53 twice, tapped it, pulled back, tapped it again, pulled back, tapped it again, and so now it's been in this basing pattern for quite a while. It looks like it's ready to make the next leg up, and so I'm still holding a piece of this. I got in at 52.50, so I'm down. I'm red on the position, but I do expect this to eventually break through 53 and get a big move. And I like some of the other ones in the sector too. Let's see. So DHI is another one, kind of a similar pattern. Got some resistance at 34. So we'll see if that one can break that. And then KB Homes also looks pretty decent, kind of sideways action here before the next leg up. So I really like the home builders. I like the way the sector is looking. So I'm trying to be patient and give Lennar Homes some time, see if it can move. So I'm still sitting on that one for a swing. Okay, AGRX, this is a decent break. Smaller name, thinner, but had a break through 360 and ran all the way up to just above 4, so that would have been a nice swing trade. Now it's pulling back, so, and it's held this 360, was a low on Friday. Looks like a breakout pullback, so this 360 level could act as support, and then it could bounce off of that one and rally back up. So that'll be one to watch here, this key spot at 360, see if it holds a support. AVXL still consolidating, and but I still like this chart. Look how long this basing period is since back in February. Peaked out right around 630, and then still hasn't been able to break through that spot. So this one can perk up and through 630 spot, be one to watch for a trade. So True was a nice bull flag. See a big run up sideways, and then on this day here on the 18 break, 2 nice days. So that would have been a great trade. Still looks good. Looks like it's just profit taking, pulling back for a couple days, and I'd look for this one to basically firm up and then head higher. Still like that chart. Juno, no go. It had a spot at 2650 or 2670-ish. Yeah, so right up in here on this big green candle day here, looked like it might want to break, and then it just gapped and crapped. So nothing there now on Juno. SGMS, key spot at 24. Another missed opportunity by me, but had the 24 break and ran all the way to 26. So yeah, nice, 2 or 3 day swing trade there. Some profit taken on Friday. Could pull back to 24, or could firm up and then set up another up leg. But this one was in a very nice pattern, had a nice resistance spot at 24, and then on big volume breakout through that resistance is what you're looking for, and that one did very well. So congrats if you caught that one. ORMP, yeah, this one, yeah, really tricky name. It looked like it was ready to go. It was perking up. It got all the way up intraday to 860. Looked like it was, it just looked really good, and then it just crapped. So yeah, this one, probably take this one off my radar for now until there's nothing. I don't see anything there now except for maybe the 50-day support right here. But still, the key spot up here, 870. So if we can get back up there, maybe it'd be worth a trade. ARNC, this is a aluminum play. Got a spot right there at 2830-ish, 2836. Got rejected the last time it tested it. Looked like it was gonna break, and then it got rejected. So this one's still consolidating, but still looks decent. CENX, another aluminum name that had a big break right through this 1530 spot. So this was one that was on the watch list. So, and also cleared this resistance back in here. So very nice breakout in this CNX. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one continue higher. It's cleared all significant resistance, and now it's just kind of consolidating above the highs. So INNL, this one looks very, very interesting. Been on my radar for a while, and it's got a couple of key spots. One is up here around 240, 250-ish. And another one is around right where it closed out on Friday, 225, which is a high of these little wicks right here. And so Friday it closed at 224, just below that spot. Decent volume relative, you can see down there. But this one just looks really interesting. I think this one could get going next week. So just keep a close eye on this INNL. You can see the 50-day really converging on it, getting closer and closer. So I think this one could have a nice move next week. INNL as a top watch. INNL for next week. NK got rejected on this 450 spot. Pulled back, so maybe this one can kind of set up a tight ascending triangle pattern for a trade, but not really seeing much there now. DIOD, kind of a failed break, bull flag pattern, big push, and then it got rejected. So nothing there on this one anymore, but it did have a nice one day break if you traded that. LMAT is another one. Spot at 32, got rejected. And so now it just continues to consolidate. So 32 still a spot to watch for LMAT. Alright, CCCR, some China commerce name, or a banking name, I think. Just an interesting looking pattern, maybe through 3. So, yeah, actually, this one, probably just take this one off for now. It kind of looks like, maybe if it get to 3 on some volume, I'd consider looking at it again, but that was right now I don't see much. Until I can get to 3, then it might be worth a trade. WKHS, this one still looks like it's setting up an ascending triangle. So this is what I'm seeing. It's 4 spot. And you got this kind of pattern. So if that one can push through 4, it might be worth a trade. Decent pattern setting up. WKHS. Okay, Loco, decent pattern. Breaking out through 1410, closed at 1420. Basically a bull flag, and it would measure basically to the low here. So I'd give you 1320 to 1410, so roughly 90 cents of target from the breakout. So maybe 15 would be a good target on that one. MTLS failed right there at the 14, so nothing looked like this was setting up this type of ascending triangle, but nothing now. That one failed. AAON, this one's a general building material stock right there at recent, come on, key resistance, closed right below that. So this sector of the home builders and general building material sector, I think, looks good. AAON could get a break next week. Another one would be BLD, another one in the sector, you know, steady higher. So strength in those sectors, home builders, building material, real estate type stuff. Okay, this is a bank, an individual bank versus the ETF. So you can see the pattern right there at 60.51 on the verge of a breakout. You can see Friday, decent volume. And in this type of pattern on the banks, if you look through the banking sector, you'll see a lot of these that look like this, a lot of breakouts, big movements in individual banks. So that's why I think the financial sector is definitely one to watch going forward. SWK, Stanley Black & Decker, 140, sitting right there. Looks like it wants to break 140. It's kind of an inverted head and shoulders pattern on that one. And that would give you a target. I'd use this, 136 to 139. So it'd give you $3. So 142 profit, or 142 target price. ESIO, key spot at 9. Big breakout, pullback, tested 9, pulling back. So it looks like it wants to put in a higher low here and then ramp back through 9. Be one to watch. ZAG, big run up. Had a reaction, now it's back to 9. Looks like it wants to go higher. Potential target would be 810 to 9, so that'd give you 90-cent target, so it would put you at 990. And CPRX Biotech, 240 spot, kind of the pattern. But this one's strong, it's at new highs, so this one could see some continued upside. And then last but not least is this HUSA, which is one I just wanted to talk about and that I missed, but it was a huge opportunity. And the importance of kind of key pivot points. So you can see this one was like a key spot at 50, right? I believe I mentioned that a while back, but I was watching this HUSA through 50. So the key levels of like 100, 50, 10, and how stocks act as they break through those levels is very important. And so using those pivot points, but you can see here, as soon as it broke 50, had a big move And I mean, even if you call it a day or even 2 days of this, you did very well. And this thing went all the way, it almost doubled in a period of 5 days. So these type of parabolic moves on penny stocks, they don't happen every day, but this is one that happened, recently. And back in October of 2016, this is what the marijuana stocks were doing, the OTC marijuana stocks. So this just happens to be a listed name, but this type of pattern is what will happen often in the OTCs when they come alive again. I don't know when that'll happen, but when it is, you can see these really massive moves in these penny names. Like this one is a 50-60 cent stock, but there's some huge money to be made here if you can time it right. But this one, it looks like it's had its parabolic run up, and now it's starting to crash. So I don't see anything here now, but this one was a fantastic move and just a huge run up. And you'll see these things, they don't, like I said, they don't happen every day, but they do happen a couple times a year, and if you can really catch them, you can clean up very good. So just wanted to point this one out. This is another one that I missed. I was watching it, but I didn't get on it. So anyway, that's all I got for today, guys. We'll see you next week, and we'll find some good winning trades for next week. And you guys have a good rest of your Sunday, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks.